Welcome, everybody. Welcome to ValueMatrix.tv, powered by ValueMatrix.ai, where we speak with incredible leaders and try to understand their journeys in the HR space. Today, we have Pranay, who's a senior director of Darwinbox and has a huge experience in the field of HR. Pranay, if you can please introduce yourself to us.
Sure. Thank you, Pooja, for hosting me here. I've been working for about 20 odd years now. I've moved across industries, so retail to GCCs to mining, manufacturing, logistics, and so online gaming and so on. Journey has been amazing, incredible. With each of these organizations, I've worked with some fantastic leaders, fantastic founders. But generally, I've worked with people who have a lot of clarity, who have been very, very tech savvy. I've moved across functions, across domains, across cities, across geographies. Uh, and business side of it is something that I really enjoyed doing. It's been like 8 9 years, amazing journey, a lot of good friends during the along the way, and a lot of learnings. And to top that, I probably am still a student.
You clearly have seen the entire spectrum. Now you understand the business side of it as well. So there's so many things that we can discuss, but I want to start by asking that you must have seen the transition where AI was being introduced in the systems. So what are the biggest shifts that you have seen? Let's say specifically about the HR space.
I think the AI part into HR, into the people function, is still in its very, very nascent stage, right? A lot of people are trying to build a lot of platforms, support systems ingrained with AI. But I think we are still within the top three, initial 3 4 5% of what potentially it could do for people, right? So let's take one example, say recruiting, right? My personal view, with all the experiences, interactions that I've had with people over the last 4 5 years around AI, is that this is one technology, this is one way which can make the entire operating system very, very efficient, right? uh, People should stop worrying about what will happen to jobs and all of that. And as the AI systems mature in days to come, in months or years to come, we'll see super efficient systems which will cut down a lot of time. The HR folks will have a lot of solid time to do more strategic stuff, get involved with the business, and do something which is more meaningful than just sifting through maybe 1,000 CVs a month, and then going through the just going through the process. So that's where I see AI, and that's one example. Across industries, attrition is a problem, but I feel AI is one tool which, if used correctly, can force people to start talking about retention than attrition, right? So there's a difference in the connotation of both these terms, right? So I think this is a system. AI is a way to make your work more efficient, more accurate, uh, save a lot of time, right? Which also means that you'll up your quality. So I see that as a huge, huge, huge benefit, huge plus for organizations at large, and for people at an individual level. The only ones who will probably need to uh, be worried are the ones who are not willing to adopt, or who are not willing to upskill themselves, right?
I would love to see that what is your vision that once AI is actually integrated in its, if not full capacity, at least in its good efficient capacity, what does that look like for any industry?
We are still using AI in silos, right? So somebody is working on recruiting, somebody is working on performance, somebody is working on sales, somebody is developing a tool for marketing, and somebody is developing a tool for maybe operations, right? We are yet to see a complete integration of all these tools within any organization to say that, wow, this is the benefit. As the system matures, as people mature, as organizations mature, as adoption increases, right? There will be seamless integrated tools. I am very hopeful that it can happen in next 3 to 5 years, because somebody will have a bright spark and somebody will say, okay, let us do an ERP, AI based ERP. So that's the larger vision that I see of a platform being built purely on based on AI or powered by AI, which runs across the length and breadth of the organization. And that is when the true value of AI for from a business standpoint will probably become visible.
It's a very interesting thought, but when AI is actually fully integrated into the systems, do you think recruiters will become obsolete?
You'll 100% need them, right? Because I don't think there would be a perfect system driven purely by machines, right? Let us take, for example, I mean, there's a certain job role, right, that an organization wants to hire for. Now, the simplest thing, the first step is write a job description, right? So let us agree that okay, there's an AI-based tool, and you'll give them a role, and then the tool will give you a job description also, right? But there's a human sitting behind all of this who decides that okay, this job description or this role needs to deviate about 20% to create a greater impact. Training a machine takes time. It will need like millions and billions of data points to train itself and to give you the output that you want, right? Let us, for example, let us look at the agentic AI, right? I mean, all of everybody is building bots, and the agents are being replaced, and so on and so forth, right? The agentic AI, end of the day, is only learning, right? If you have tweaked the question, that answer does not exist. The machine has been trained in a way that it will prove its own job description incorrect also, right? Because it is prompt based, right? You still need human beings to give those prompts. Now, for a machine to get trained enough to be able to differentiate between logistics and pharma, because operations are both, but a logistics operation is very different from a pharma operations, which is very different from a BPO operations for that matter. If you look at just a decade back, nobody thought that you'll need AI engineers, because ChatGPT was sort of non-existent. 5 years down the line, or our kids, right, when they grow up and then when they enter the workforce, what new roles will come up, we cannot even foresee right now. How the recruiter's role would shape up 5 years, 10 years down the line. I think they will have a lot much more value to add. Purely a factor of how much skill, how much patience, how much upskilling they are willing to go through.
In an organization, you deal with people, and people will always remain in the center of the business, right? We also need AI to build efficiency and for other operations as well. So, is there a way to balance uh, the humanness of the organization and the involvement of AI?
Absolutely, I think no organization can shy away from maintaining that balance. That's a recipe for disaster, right? You'll still need to sit a person down and talk to him or her and try and understand what is their driver. And everybody is free to have their own motivation behind all of this, right? How does the tool fathom that? What the system will tell you, okay, give them more money because they're motivated, okay, their performance levels are this much amount of money should be given. That's how the system has been trained. Is that always the correct answer? That answer is no. There's always a human being, maybe an HR person or maybe the manager, who knows more nitty-gritties. There's a negative personality trait. Now, how does the machine capture this personality trait? If his off work interactions are worrisome, then you would never let the machine take that call.